Hello students, welcome to you on my YouTube channel Pawan Agnihotri Physics Maths classes. Today in this lecture of class 10 ICSE Physics, we are going to begin a new chapter, calorimetry, which is the chapter number 11 in your book. In the Selena book, it is chapter number 11. Now see here, what is calorimetry? So calorimetry is that branch of physics which deals with the measurement of heat energy. It is what? It is that branch of physics you keep on, you write down also, because I will not write on the board here. So it is that branch of physics which deals with the measurement of heat or heat energy. As we know that heat is what? It is a form of energy. Heat is what? It is a form of energy. And the branch of physics in which we study about the measurement of heat energy, that is called calorimetry. Now see here, what is heat energy? Heat is a form of energy. What is the meaning of heat energy? Heat energy means it is the total internal energy of the molecules. Heat energy possessed by any body will be equal to the total internal energy of its molecules. Total internal energy of the molecules of any body will be the heat energy possessed by that body. Now as we know that molecules are having two types of energy. One is the kinetic energy because of the motion of the molecules. Now motion of molecules, as you know that in case of solid, it is the vibrational motion. In case of liquid, molecules can move here and there. In case of gases, molecules are moving very rapidly here and there in the container in which the gas is enclosed. So if we talk about the internal energy, then internal energy is of two forms. One is the kinetic energy and other is the potential energy of molecules. As we know that potential energy of molecules is because of the intermolecular force, which is maximum in solids. That's why the molecules of solids have maximum potential energy, while their kinetic energy is very limited, it is very small. But in liquids, kinetic energy is more, but the potential energy decreases. And why? Because the intermolecular force decreases. Similarly, in gases, kinetic energy is maximum and potential energy is very, very small, because in gaseous molecules, they exist the least intermolecular force. They are almost free. So what is the heat energy? It is the total internal energy of molecules. Internal energy of molecules. Total internal energy of molecules means we can say that heat energy is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy of molecules. It is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. That is, it is the sum of K and U. It's clear? Now where K depends upon what? K depends upon the temperature. Kinetic energy depends upon the temperature. More the temperature, more will be the kinetic energy of the molecules. Or in other words, we can say that if the temperature of a body is more, then it means its molecules will be more energetic. They can vibrate, they can move more vigorously, they can vibrate more vigorously, they can move more rapidly. It's clear? While potential energy, it depends upon the intermolecular force. Intermolecular force. It's clear? So here heat energy means, heat energy is the total sum of the kinetic energy and potential energy of the molecules of the body. It's clear? Now, what would be the heat energy possessed by any body? Normally we measure it by temperature, but the temperature alone will not give the complete idea of the heat energy of the body. Temperature alone cannot give the complete idea of the heat energy possessed by any body. It's clear? Because temperature tells only about the kinetic energy of the molecules. More the temperature, more will be the kinetic energy of the molecules. It's clear? Now one more thing. What is the SI unit of heat energy? So as we know that heat is the form of energy, therefore its SI unit is joule. Its SI unit is joule. It's clear? But there are two more units which are particularly used for heat energy: calorie and kilocalorie. Kilocalorie. What is calorie? Calorie, that amount of heat energy which is required to reach the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius, from 14.5 degree Celsius to the 15.5 degree Celsius. In this range, 14.5 degree Celsius to the 15.5 degree Celsius. When the 1 gram of water is heated in this range, it requires how much heat energy? 1 calorie heat energy it will be required. What is calorie? Calorie and kilocalorie are the units of the heat energy. And what is calorie? It is equal to the amount of heat energy which is required to reach the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius, from 14.5 degree Celsius to the 15.5 degree Celsius. It is clear? So you remember this thing. Similarly, kilocalorie. Kilocalorie is what? It is the amount of heat energy required to reach the temperature of 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree Celsius in the temperature range from 14.5 degree Celsius to the 15.5 degree Celsius. When the water is heated in this temperature range, then 1 kilogram water will require 1 kilocalorie heat energy. 1 gram of water will require 1 calorie of heat energy. If it is heated by 1 degree Celsius in some other range, the amount of heat will be other than 1 calorie or 1 kilocalorie. It's clear? So this temperature range is important. It's clear? Now what is the relation between 1 kilocalorie and calorie? There is no need to tell you that, you already know. 1 kilocalorie equals to 1000 calorie. There is one more relation, 1 calorie and the SI unit of heat energy, it is equal to 4.18 joule, or it is equal to 4.2 joule. So we will remember these things. It's clear. Now see here, after this there is a term temperature. What is temperature? It is telling the degree of hotness or coldness of the body. It gives the idea of the kinetic energy of average kinetic energy of its molecules. It decides the flow of heat when two heated bodies are kept in contact. When two heated bodies are kept in contact, heat will flow from where to where? From a body which is at higher temperature to the body which is at lower temperature. और कब तक फ्लो करेगी? जब तक कि दोनों बॉडीज का टेम्परेचर बराबर ना हो जाए. It's clear? Means what is the temperature? Temperature we have studied that it is the degree of hotness or coldness of the body. Qualitatively, it gives the idea of the average kinetic energy of its molecules, and it decides the flow of heat energy when two bodies are kept in contact. Two heated bodies are kept in contact. When two heated bodies are kept in contact, heat will flow from where to where? From a body which is at higher temperature to the body which is at lower temperature, until both body acquires the same temperature. Until both bodies acquires the same temperature. Suppose this is at 70 degrees Celsius, this is at 100 degrees Celsius. What will happen? Heat will flow from this body to this body, from A to B. and it will flow until both requires the same temperature. When it will lose the heat energy, its temperature will decrease. When it will gain the heat energy, its temperature will increase. And at some common temperature in between these two, both the bodies will come in thermal equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium means the flow of heat will stop. Their temperatures will become equal. Means two bodies will be in thermal equilibrium when their temperatures are same. It's clear? When temperatures are same, then they are said to be in thermal equilibrium. On keeping them in contact, there will be no flow of heat in between them. It's clear? So this is the temperature. What is the SI unit and CGS unit of temperature? So as you know that SI unit is of temperature is Kelvin. There is one more unit, it is degrees Celsius. It is degrees Celsius. And how will you convert degrees Celsius into Kelvin? So if you have to convert the temperature in degrees Celsius to temperature in Kelvin, Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature, then you have to add plus 273, which means 27 degrees Celsius, it will be equal to 27 plus 273, that is equals to 300 Kelvin. It will be equal to 300 Kelvin. Okay. So in order to change degree Celsius into Kelvin, you have to add 273. Okay. Now one more thing. Suppose there is a change in temperature in degree Celsius. So change in temperature in degree Celsius will be equal to the change in temperature in Kelvin. Now you can see here from the same example, 27 degrees Celsius and 37 degrees Celsius. What is the difference of the temperature? What is the change of temperature? 10 degrees Celsius. Now you change them in Kelvin. This will be 300 Kelvin. How will you change in Kelvin? By adding 273. This will be 310 Kelvin. Now if you find out the change is 10 Kelvin. It's clear? Means you can see that there is the same change in temperature. 10 degrees Celsius is equal to the 10 Kelvin. But here it is the change of temperature. It's clear? If this is the change of temperature, then we will not add 273. 273 will be added only when there is the absolute temperature. When there is the absolute temperature, then only 273 will be added. It's clear? Now see here, so here about, now we will see factors. Now up to here you have studied in the previous classes also. But now the thing which I am going to tell you, that is the new. It's clear? Now what are the factors on which heat absorbed during heating. During heating means when you are increasing the temperature, or heat liberated. Liberated means when the body is cooling. Liberated during cooling depends. During cooling depends. Means when a body is being heated, it will absorb the heat energy. When it will be cooled, it will lose the heat energy. What are the factors on which it depends? It's clear how much heat energy will be absorbed, how much heat energy will be liberated during the cooling. It depends upon which factors. It's clear when the other factors are constant, same. It depends upon the mass of body. Now see here, suppose there are two bodies, one is of 1 kg, other is of 5 kg. Both are made up of copper. If you have to raise the temperature of both by 10 degrees Celsius, मीन्स हमको दोनों का टेम्परेचर 10 डिग्री सेल्सियस बढ़ाना है, 1 kg वाले का भी और 5 kg वाले का भी. In which case more amount of heat will be required. So it is quite obvious that in this case more amount of heat energy will be required because the matter is more. It's clear? For example, if you take two bowls, in one bowl you keep a small amount of water, in the other bowl it is filled up to the brim, and then keep on the same type of stove which are supplying the same amount of heat energy. So in which case more amount of heat energy will be required? In whose mass is more. It's clear? It means the heat absorbed or liberated, it depends upon the mass of the body. Q is directly proportional to M. Number 2, it depends upon the change in temperature. Change in temperature. Change in temperature, that is delta T. Okay. Now see here. Suppose in two bowls, here also there is 1 kg water. In the other bowl also there is 1 kg water. Here you have to increase its temperature by 10 degrees Celsius and here by 50 degrees Celsius. Here the change in temperature is 10 degrees Celsius, here 50 degrees Celsius. In which case more heat will be required? So in this case more heat will be required. Means Q is directly proportional to the delta T. Q is directly proportional to delta T. Number 3, it depends upon the nature of material. Nature of material. Nature of material, for example, if you take a wooden desk and take a iron desk, one desk is wooden and the other is iron, both are kept in the ground, what will happen? In the sunlight they are kept in the ground, so sun is supplying the heat energy to both of them at the same rate. Here we have taken the wooden desk and iron desk, they are of same size. They are of same size, which will become heated more quickly. So the iron one will become heated more quickly. It's clear? Now here you can see the sun is supplying the heat energy to the wooden desk as well as to the iron desk at the same rate. Means in the same time they will absorb equal amount of heat energy. In the same time they will absorb equal amount of heat energy. Both are absorbing equal amount of heat energy, but the temperature of iron one is increasing more, temperature of wooden desk is increasing less. Means the change in temperature, it means the amount of heat energy absorbed for a given change in temperature, it depends upon the nature of material also. It's clear? Suppose if you have to heat the iron disk and wooden disk, both the temperature you want to increase by 10 degrees Celsius. Iron will require less heat, wood will require more heat. It's clear? So heat absorbed or liberated during the cooling. It also depends upon the nature of material. Now if you combine these two, what will you get? So it means these are the three factors only: the heat absorbed by the body during the heating or heat liberated by the body during cooling depends. One upon the mass of the body, other change in temperature, and third on the nature of the material. It's clear? When you combine this, so you will get Q proportional to M into delta T. Q proportional to M into delta T. This sign of proportionality can be replaced by a constant. Here we have used this constant C into M into delta T. This constant C, this depends upon the nature of material. This depends upon the nature of material of body. It's clear? This is the constant for nature of material of body, and this we call as specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity of body. Capacity of body. That is, it is known as SHC of the body. Specific heat capacity of the body, that is SHC of the body. Now see here, we can write that relation Q equals to C into M into delta T. So we will write Q equals to M into C into delta T. What is C? It is the SHC of the body, which depends upon the nature of material. Means as long as material is same, the bodies will have same SHC. Their masses may be different. There are two iron balls. One is of 1 kg, other is of 5 kg. Their masses are different, but their materials are same. Therefore, they will have the same value of C. Now, how will you define C? So, C equals to Q upon M into delta T. You can see here, M we have take, if we take M equals to 1 unit. 1 unit means 1 gram, 1 kilogram. It's clear. Delta T, if we take 1 degree Celsius or 1 Kelvin. So what would be and C? C equals to Q upon 1 into 1. That is equals to Q. So all of you see here, SHC of a material. SHC of a material. It's clear because this is the property of material. SHC of a material is equal to that amount of heat energy which is required to reach the temperature of unit mass of that material by 1 Kelvin, by 1 degree Celsius. It is clear. SHC of a material is equal to that amount of heat energy which is required to reach the temperature of that unit mass of which is required to reach the temperature of unit mass of that material by 1 degree Celsius, by 1 Kelvin, by unity, anything you can write it. It's clear? So you note down, SHC of a material of a body is equal to that amount of heat energy which is required to reach the temperature of unit mass of that material by unity. Unity means 1 Kelvin, 1 degree Celsius, anything. It's clear? Now see here what will be the SI unit of SHC. SI unit of SHC. So you can see here what will be the SI unit of SHC. So what is the formula of C? So formula of C you have seen, it is equals to Q upon M into delta T. It's clear? Q is in joule, mass kilogram. This is delta T Kelvin. So what is the SI unit? You can write joule per kg because in denominator, so in numerator you will write -1 per Kelvin. Joule per kg per Kelvin. It's clear? If we take in place of Kelvin, because delta T in Kelvin and delta T in degree Celsius both will be same. So there are some other units. This is the SI unit. Other units will be what? So you can see here, it will be joule per kg per degree Celsius. Joule per kg per degree Celsius. It's clear? If you take this in calorie and this in gram, so it will be calorie per gram per degree Celsius. You take it in kilocalorie per kilogram per degree Celsius. It's clear? So these are some units, and here you see its value in this unit and value in this unit will be same. Value in both the units will be same because already I have told change in temperature delta T in Kelvin and in degree Celsius it will be same. It's clear? So after this there is one more term, heat capacity. There is one term, heat capacity. What is heat capacity? What is the thermal capacity? Heat capacity, other name is the thermal capacity. So heat capacity, it is the amount of heat required to reach the temperature of any body by 1 degree Celsius by 1 Kelvin. It's clear. What is heat capacity? It is the amount of heat required to reach the temperature of any body by 1 degree Celsius or by 1 Kelvin. Suppose Q amount of heat energy raises the temperature of body by delta T. On supplying Q heat to this body, its temperature rises by delta T. So delta T temperature बढ़ता है Q heat से, so 1 Kelvin से temperature बढ़ेगा by Q upon delta T. So what will be the heat capacity? Heat capacity equals to Q upon delta T. It will be equal to Q upon delta T. Now, so this is the formula. In place of Q, you can write M into C into delta T. So when you will write M into C into delta T upon delta T, so there will be one more formula. Heat capacity equals to M into C. Delta T will be cancelled. M into C, that is mass into SHC. Mass into SHC. It's clear? Now what is the SI unit of heat capacity? So SI unit of heat capacity, Q is in Joule. It is in Kelvin. So Joule upon Kelvin, that is Joule per Kelvin. It's clear? This is also equals to Joule per degree Celsius. Other units are kilocalorie per Kelvin. This is in kilocalorie, this is in Kelvin. Kilocalorie per Kelvin, kilocalorie per degree Celsius. So in this lecture, only up to here. In next lecture, so you go through the chapter. You read the chapter and try to understand the meaning of each and every line. It's clear? And then you will be able. Similarly, when you watch the video, you write down the important points. It's clear? Because everything I am not writing on the board. So you put the video in the pause and then you note down the important points. It's clear? You prepare your own notes. That is very, very important. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand the topics clearly. It's clear? So, now in this lecture only up to here. Thank you.